Excuse me. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the stream. My name is Ace. I'm a hobbyist. I'm sorry. I was laughing at when I sneezed, everything just went red. Hey, Brian, how you doing today? I'm sorry for last week. I was unable to stream after Tuesday, so we had to give up two streams. But we're back today, fresh and new week. I hope you're having a looking forward to a decent week. Past we're getting on in the summer here. Getting it on in the summer. Summer is there's not much time left for the summer. Soon it'll be fall again. It feels like, but I'm doing okay. We're going to continue working on our mesh. We're doing meshes to use as reference for a webcomic that I'm developing. It's already written. I spent a few years writing it and planning out all the scenes and whatnot. All we have to do is design the characters, and I took up 3D sculpting as a little, not only as a side project, but I figured it would help, you know, with perspective. I don't have to really I can put all the thought into beforehand before I start drawing and then just draw whatever I put together. So that's what we're going to do. We're working on the retopology. We have the eyes done for auto for doing this in like not manually, like in an auto, like with either quad remesher or Z remesher. I felt that it would deform the eyes too much, so we're learning how to do it manually. This is our second attempt. I think it's going better than before. I think we still have some minor things here, like these lines here. I might be able to just delete those. So we'll be tweaking the face as we go, and hopefully this will turn out better. As far as the other drawing is concerned, let's see if we can. Hold on, before we start, let me see if I can. No, don't save it. It'll show some progress. Pretty sure I clothed him. I hope that he's clothed. Okay, well, it doesn't matter. He's clothed, right? Yeah, he's clothed. He's clothed. He's clothed. Everything's fine. I've shown this already, but basically we are starting to get into the skin details. I've added more details to the body. We've lowered the numbers significantly by baking. This is the aim that we are going for here. It'll be around 1.8. This is the low poly. This is like the only thing that's left now. I'd already deleted all the high poly stuff. This is a test skin that we're doing, but pretty soon it's going to be finalized, and we're going to start working on the hair, skin details like the pores, and just really painting in more details. Of the skin is very flat right now. I got him some veins here, and this is. I just wanted to show the progress. This has not been forgotten about. We are working on this. We're learning how to do what what anything that I can do to make this really pop after the retopology. This is what we're heading towards on our second mesh. Okay. And this is where we're at. We're gonna have to do the same thing for the clothes too, but it shouldn't be too bad because the clothes are very low poly. So this is where we're at. All right, we got all that stuff. We're working through it. He has a mustache. I just drew that in for now, just to see how it would look in his eyes and whatnot, but looks very relaxed. But this isn't the final product. This is still a work in progress. But this is what we want to show off the progress on the stream. This is what we got. Okay, it started off at 22 million. We're at 1.8 now, and I think that's where we're at with this mesh here. Okay, so we're gonna go back. Pretty soon we'll have the second mesh here while we're working on the third. I don't know where we're gonna end up by the end of the year, but I hope that we could get some actual character turnarounds, by holiday season. Hopefully sooner. Maybe we'll be able to speed things up a bit. I know we're working on kind of slow. We're doing very piecemeal progress, but it's progress. I'm still learning this stuff. So it's taking me a little bit longer than it normally would, and I'm streaming it, which kind of adds to the production time. I guess you could call it that. But I'm okay with this. I like learning new stuff, especially stuff that I'm interested in learning, and I've really this has really taken hold of my attention in recent times. So I don't mind it, but we will get there. Okay. I'm trying to decide if I should delete this line. I think we can get away with doing it. We're not going to delete it. We're just going to dissolve the edges, which is the same thing as deleting, I guess. And maybe we can take this line and move it up. Let's try that and see what happens. We don't want to pull it out. We just want to move it up. Kind of make it more even. That's what we're aiming for. I'm not going to worry about the line around the mouth. That was there intentionally. I put that there intentionally because that's the edge loop. I think that's what we started with last week. And we are going to be continuing by doing the lips. Oh, I don't know if I showed off the teeth in the other mesh, but he has teeth now. He has teeth, gums, tongue, and hopefully, well, actually not hopefully, because I've done this before. I know I can do it. All of it will be rigged, so he'll have a working mouth. There'll still be a lot of negative space inside of him, but that's okay. And you could probably use this in a video game. That's going to. I mean, that's a mild interest in that goal. Maybe we'll attempt it one day. I don't know, but it could be done. I've already tested one of my test models I tested in Unity, and it seems to work pretty well. So yeah, Unity, right? Yeah, Unity. Sorry, I'm asking you. No, I'm not asking you. I'm asking myself. It was a rhetorical question. All right, leave me alone. Anyways, we're going to let's circle the ear before we continue. Actually, you know what? Let's not circle the ear. I'm gonna keep putting this out. Okay, we're getting our bearings here. We're going to take this line around the ear. I forgot to do that last week. I was supposed to be Wednesday's thing, and we weren't. I couldn't come back Wednesday. That's okay. We're here now. All right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start on the lips. We're going to get the lips going, and I think we can just. Do this. That's oh, not like that. Not like that. I'm going to temporarily turn off in front because I need to see what the heck I'm doing. And that is the only way I know how to do it. And I just want to see what we can do here. What's going on here? I think we could roll with this. Yeah, I think so. Hey, Judicious, good morning. Welcome to the stream. We're continuing our retopology. Hey, Piping, welcome to the stream. Welcome, 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 welcome. Dancing, vibing. I like that emote. We're vibing. Yes, we are vibing. We are continuing with our retopology. And I don't know, you missed. I was showing my progress in the last mesh. But we have already started. But we're making good progress. We're making very good progress. Rent apology, yeah. I wish I could apologize for that, but nope. There's no exceptions in that area. I gotta do that. Gotta do it. Matter of fact, that's coming soon, isn't it? My rent apology is being placed in an alley with all my stuff. Oh, BD4, nice, nice. I can't wait to try. As a matter of fact, wait, are you ever going to do a server on that? Because then I can start. We could start a brand new, all different playthrough. Okay. I already have troubles finishing my builds and whatnot, but maybe if I stream it, that will help me motivate like sticking with it. I you know I I'm gonna do it. Okay, I'm going to finish my builds one day. I promise. We have a build currently on Minecraft that we have not got. What the heck? We have not gotten to yet. I haven't forgotten about that, but we will get to it. Testing the server is terrible right now. Still troubleshooting it. Just finished converting the tips from BD3. Nice, nice. Yeah, I was surfing the web, and somebody brought up um I think it was called Ore Spawn. It was some very old mod. It had some very questionable content in it, but people other than that, people really like that mod. It's before I even started playing Minecraft, this mod was. And they were like, okay, well, there's someone making a spiritual successor to that mod, but without all the, the drama and controversy attached to it. And the concept of it seemed interesting to me, so and it seemed like something that I don't know, maybe it would fit in with the pack. I don't know. It's not really. I'm not really sure because I've never played either of those packs. But I wanted you to. I wanted to see if there were, if you could take a look at that and see if there was anything there. I gotta do this part over again because it seems to be messed up. We're gonna just do it one row at a time. But yeah, the next server restart, I'm going to add that to my games rotation, and then we can see you can see all the stuff that I do. When I'm off way like 10,000 blocks away. Anybody can look and see what I do, what I'm up to. But yes, I like doing builder games. Minecraft is one of them. I also like doing Terraria. Eventually I'm gonna stream that. It's just I've been very immersed in it. Once we have this to a point where we can just do it without having to, there's nothing more to, we don't have to refer to any kind of material to figure out what to do. Once we know how to do my fake base 3, yeah, you'll be able to see everything. All the secrets are coming. Secret tunnels. I think you found a secret tunnel before. There where you weren't supposed to know. No one's supposed to know. But yeah, typically those houses that I build, which I'm going to improve that design because now it's getting kind of to the point where I could build that super easy and it's always the same. But originally that house was supposed to have like a bunch of secrets and passages in it, and some of them actually did. They just never were found. Besides the tunnel, you did find the tunnel. Yeah, the secret tunnel. there's there's secrets. I put secrets in all my builds. Hopefully, I mean, people always they come, they walk around and check out my builds, which is fine. That's supposed to be, the point, right? But they never find the secrets. I would hope that they would start exploring and checking things out. Normally people just walk in and take a look around and leave, but I put secrets there for people to find. They never find them though. But yeah, eventually you'll see that. When we get together, when I get myself together, we can definitely start going. And I got some offline stuff too. Hey, C Titan, welcome to the stream. Good morning. Hope you're having a great morning. We're doing our retopology here for our second mesh. Using these, I'm going to use these as reference for a webcomic that I am putting together. And whoa, we don't want that. We don't want a triangle, not yet. This is what we want, like this. And yeah, this is the second character that appears in the story. We're doing these by order of appearance, and hopefully we can get a nice rhythm going. I just need 7 characters and we can start doing pages. Because it's still, like I said, the story's written, so it's gonna be great. I'm very excited. Very excited to see where this goes. I have no idea what that means. Now we're going to go around the ear. We're going to go around the ear. Oh, wait, hold on, wait. I wasn't done with the lips. I'm jumping around like a jumping bean. Okay, just need to chill. But we'll be all right. Okay. There are specific thing. Oh yeah, of course. You'll pick up some things because I'm learning too. I'm not an expert at this stuff. I've only been practicing this for about a year and a half because I would naturally change my own art. I try to improve. If I draw something over and over, I'll subconsciously try to improve it, and I don't want my art in the webcomic to change drastically over a short amount of time. So I got this crackpot idea to learn sculpting to try to see if that would help keep my art more consistent. As opposed to just drawing something over and over and not changing it. But I don't know. I don't know if I have trouble doing that because I always try to improve everything. So it says who make full my That's only because when you learn Blender, people always go for the donut, and I didn't want to do a donut. I had no interest in doing what I felt was unnecessary. Okay, I just jumped in and just decided to learn exactly what I wanted to create, which was people. There's a lot of people in my story. It's people are like the main thing. So I went ahead and learned that instead. That's only because I know where I started. I feel like I'm not. I feel like I'm still not an expert. I think these are looking better and better each time. Yes. Uh, I didn't have Blender PC will turn to leaves floor if I install. Oh, that's unfortunate. Well, at least it's free. So if you ever get a stronger computer, I would say just if you can just get the RAM and a new graphics card in your computer, you should be okay. And your biggest obstacle, for learning Blender is the polygons that you put into it. I first learned in ZBrush, but my first real sculpt was tens of millions of polygons, and that's just not going to be good for you. I mean, it's actually fine in ZBrush. ZBrush doesn't lag at all. It's very, um, I would say, resourceful with everything that you put into it. I never had problems with lag with ZBrush, but Blender is different. I having if you have a lot of undo steps basically, and I always had it back all the way to 256, that actually causes lag. So I put it down to 10. I can make 10 mistakes and undo 10 mistakes, and the lag's been going away. So the lag has gone dropped significantly since then. There's no really almost no lag unless it decides to auto save while I'm doing something. I think right now we have let's see, yeah, we're at 18 million right now, and it'll probably go up to like maybe 22 total, and then we'll bring it all the way back down to like 1.8. My first sculpt, which is nearly done. We almost got our first official done sculpt. It's only 1.8 polygons, so we'll see how that transfers to rendering and not my next endeavor, animation. What the heck am I? What am I doing here? Where we at? Oh, okay, that's its underwear. I lost my place here. Wait a minute. What's this? Oh, that's body LP. Okay, that's right. I got confused for a second. I was looking for a plane, but I already renamed it. That was the problem that I was going with. Yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. I don't know. I've been drawing for most of my life, so it was actually not too hard grasping this. I thought I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to sculpt because I just didn't know anything about sculpting. I did some clay in real life, in art class in a school, but beyond that, it was something that was beyond. I felt that it was beyond my understanding at first, but at least in the 3D space, it was very easy to grasp. I don't know if I could do this in real life. I know you got to use like the wire frames and whatnot. You just put clay on that. or stone sculpting, sculpting something out of a rock. You can't really make. I don't know how you undo your mistakes on that, but yeah, it's pretty fun. It turned out to be it's very fun, and I could see the characters I have in my head already in a 3D space. That's also very helpful. Learning how to do an ear. There was a point where this was the most challenging part of the face. You know, now it's I would say the thing to take the most time now is the hands and the feet. But it took me a while to get this right. I had trouble, taking the ear and then just forming it. It probably still could be better. The backs of the ears are kind of weird, but since we're going to be drawing this, we could easily just make it look like however we want. We have the reference. We don't want to copy it exactly anyway, because I don't want the art to look stiff. So let's see, what do we got here? What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? All right, we're gonna go back to edges. I do believe this is edges. Yeah. Okay. We're gonna go further into the lips here. Let's see. It's very hard finding the character stuff on YouTube. I guess people, they would rather charge for that because I feel like the idea is that everyone wants to eventually go to that, so people will charge for that. But if you look hard enough, you'll find enough. You'll find enough to learn how to do this if you're looking for like tutorials or anything. One day, when I get really good at this, I'm gonna make my own tutorial and I'll just put it on YouTube and people can maybe it'll help somebody. I don't know. I never really saw myself as a teacher, but if I can figure out a way to make things easy, I'll give it a shot. Let me see. Okay, I want to make this more like rounded. Let's see. G. Yes, that's exactly what I want right there. Ace tutorials for everyone. Yeah. Just put them on YouTube, somebody will find them eventually. I know there's people that do that already, but I feel they don't really. I don't know. I feel like when you're looking for specific things, people don't. At least for me, when I need to see something specific, it's almost impossible for me to find exactly what I'm looking for. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I was looking in the wrong areas. But pretty much, I think as far as sculpting, I mean, I just basically need to figure out how to do the rendering portion of it. That's really the only thing that's left here. All this stuff here. I was playing with the light before. Like I know a little bit about that, but they got all this Octane stuff. I'm using that Octane version of Blender. That's supposed to be like some crazy rendering stuff. But we'll see. Sometimes for me, it's like how to make a clock. Internet answer. You start with making a time to Yeah, I haven't done inanimate objects yet. That's going to be interesting. So I'm just like, I just wanted a clock. Yeah, it was the same for me with people. But once you get a decent idea of how to sculpt, you won't really need to learn how to do something specific. A lot of people sculpt like anime people, and I'm going for realism, so you're already kind of like not looking for something common. Normally, the realism stuff is people charge for that, but if you have a decent reference, like I use Anatomy for Sculptors. It's a very useful book. As a matter of fact, it's probably the most valuable thing you could ever have for this. And then and you just use that as a reference. then you don't really need any tutorial on how to sculpt a person. All you have to do is just sculpt what you see, and they show it to you from every. They show you like various body parts from every pretty much every angle, so you have a very good idea of how to sculpt it. You know, once you figure out how to sculpt, that's something you can't really. I feel like you can't really teach that. You just kind of have to get a feel for it yourself. Once you get comfortable using the program, and they're all different. You know, like I said, I learned how to sculpt on ZBrush, and it took some. I'm still adjusting from switching to Blender because Blender's free, but yeah, they're literally all different. They all have different shortcuts. They use different keys. They have different ways of doing stuff. This quad remesher here is supposedly made by the same people who made Z Remesher, which is ZBrush's version of doing an auto remesh, but it does not work the same. So that's why we're doing it manually. I was super spoiled by Z Remesher. It took tens of millions of polygons down to like 100 and something thousand, but there were some deformities. So, like the eye, for example, the eyes would get super deformed, like their eyelids would kind of shrink a little bit, but everything else would be good. It's the only problem that I ran into so far. And I don't know, maybe I just wasn't. Maybe I should have remeshed it a little bit more. I'm not. I don't really know. The things that I could find on Z Remesher, they didn't really. They don't explain that stuff as I say. You know, they don't really say, oh, you know, watch out for the eyes or whatever. You know, it's like no, you just have to. It's something that you just have to figure out. And I didn't even really notice it at first. You know, I was just looking at the uh the thing and I thought it was good, but something was off and I didn't see it. I was like, they look kind of different, you know, and it was the eyes. The eyes were, and I didn't see it until after I had already rigged the character. I was like, oh wait, the eyelids aren't there because you know, I can rig the face and you know you can make them smile, frown, whatever, you know, eyes wide and that's when I noticed it when I was rigging the eyes. I was like, where are the eyelids? They're gone. And I'm like, I'm too far in. You know, it's a practice sculpt anyway. It wasn't like I was gonna post it anywhere, but I was still learning how to do it. But yeah, it's that's one of the things. That's one of the drawbacks to doing it like an auto way of doing it, an automatic way of doing it. But manual, while it takes way longer to do it manually, you can retopologize it exactly how you want it, and that's more preferable to me nowadays than just doing it automatically with a program or an add-on or a feature, whatever the case may be. Because I can make my character look exactly how it looks, but with like way less polygons. So that's pretty invaluable, but it just takes longer. I'm only gonna do to the waist because I have to take his drawers off. I have to take his drawers off, and Twitch will not like that. You know, me just zoomed in on his buttocks for extended periods of time. You know, that has to be covered. So we'll get down to his waist, and then we'll start another mesh, and then I'll periodically come back to this when all that's over with. So I'm gonna go around the ear. Are we done with the lips? Because I keep jumping around. Look at that. Look at this. We were on autopilot, okay? we gotta finish our project. We gotta finish what we were doing. I think that would work. Maybe not. Let's control Z that. I need to see how I am going to do this because I did it in a weird way that this happened and I want to evenly connect this so there's no problems. Let's see. Can I? It should be like this. You can't do it that way. Like you're gonna have two. This polygon won't be connected to that polygon. So how about we go to edge? We'll just do those three instead. I think that could work, but then we're gonna have this extra thing here. Let's see. I think we can fix it. That would give us enough. If we have like almost square, like three corners, we should be able to just connect it just fine. And hopefully, when we finalize this, everything will be, there won't be any gaps. You'll be able to find the gaps easily when you're uh unwrapping it. You'll start seeing little irregularities in the unwrapping, and then you can look, and when you can go into edit mode and find them then. But it's just something that we're trying to minimize having to fix later. Let's see. Let's rotate that. I don't know how that got rotated like that, but we can easily fix that. Face doesn't look too bad. We don't have to. I mean, I, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know how to make this perfect, but we're just gonna do the best that we can. That's all we can hope for. It's already better than the last time I did this. My first retopology was super uneven, and I'm not even sure if I fixed all of it. But when I was making the seams to unwrap it, I saw a lot of mistakes that kind of made having to unwrap it a little more difficult. But you won't really know the result until you rig it and pose it, because then you'll see exactly where the deformities are when you try to pose it. The first time I rigged my character, if I move the arm, this would twist like paper. You can untwist it with the weights. It's just a slight extra step. I think that's a common thing. That was actually easy to find. That solution was very easy to find on YouTube. You won't know the result until you pose it. Now that's some wisdom. Yeah. Yeah, because if like the polygons might stretch in a certain way, you can fix it. It's not unfixable. You're just gonna have to take the steps. You can't prepare. Like, I'm not a master at this, so I can't prepare for everything, but I've made enough mistakes already to know what to look for. So we will see when we cross that bridge. We'll see it. But mainly, this here can twist up on you. Like a sleeve without an arm in it. You definitely don't want that to happen, but you can untwist it. And I actually the video that I found as a solution, I actually saved that video, so I'll never have to deal with that again. And we'll just have to see. We'll have to find out, as I keep learning and hopefully getting better at doing this, we'll see what else comes up. I'm pretty sure I could fix it, whatever it is. I don't know. But this is like, since I don't have a lot of experience manually doing this, I'm sure something will come up, and then we'll just figure it out then. Looking at the face, we don't have to go too far into the mouth. This wall here won't be here, because we'll be using the green part. So when we have the green part as the low poly, this space won't will be completely, we'll be able to go inside of his head, and that's where the teeth will be. I've already sculpted the teeth. I'm actually using my practice sculpt teeth and tongue. We're not gonna do that. That's just my one of my first assets. I could just copy and paste that over to this project. We don't need to worry about the teeth. I'm not I'm completely making these people up. They shouldn't look like anyone. I use real people as references, but they shouldn't really look like anybody too much anyway. So we don't have to worry about making the teeth look exactly like someone else's teeth. They're all just gonna have the same teeth. If somebody criticizes that, well, I mean, that's just on me. It's like, oh, they all have the same teeth. I'm more concerned about people looking unique. I don't want my characters to have the same face syndrome. I don't like that. It's okay if other people do it. It's not my art, but I personally don't want that in my art. So we're going to avoid it. I think this could work. We should be able to just go around the ear and connect everything up. It's a little skinny though. Wait, let me rotate that down. Will that work? I guess it would work. I don't know. See, this is, I don't know. I don't know about this because let's see. I feel like there's going to be some irregularities here, some impurities, if you will. No, I think it'll be fine. It just looks weird because you have a big polygon here and then a bunch of small ones here. And you're supposed to be making this even for, whatever unknown reason. I don't know. I haven't gotten there yet. Actually, it's not unknown. Like I said, it was the deformities. But we'll see. See what happens. Okay. Let's continue. Maybe we could bring this down some. Straighten it, bring it down some more. Rotate. Looks like the straps of a mankind mask. Yeah. Oh, I can't do mankind. Like I know his voice. I never try to do his voice. I have to hear it first and I can do it. I can't remember anything he would say right now. Mick Foley. And I didn't like Mick Foley at first, but then as his gimmick continued, as it evolved, I started liking him more and more. When he first debuted, I didn't like Mankind at all. But that's only because I didn't know who he was. I know he was a wrestler before WWF at the time. And then, when he started becoming more uh less like, his original Mankind gimmick, I kind of liked him more. I think, I think it was his match with Undertaker. That was a pretty hardcore match. At that time. It's probably their most dangerous match they ever did. Well, besides the obvious stuff. Besides someone dying. But they very well could have died that day. But I think that's when around that time is when I started. I was like, oh man, yeah, this guy's pretty cool. Yeah, the Mankind character at first wasn't something I liked, but when I knew the story of Mick, then I started to like him. Hated Dude Love though. Oh, Dude Love, yeah. Yeah, he had a lot of gimmicks, didn't he? Yeah, Dude Love, Cactus Jack, Mankind. Uh, I don't think the Rock and Sock connection was a separate gimmick. That was basically just him with the Rock, right? Socko. It was a lot. Yeah, I can't. Yeah, I can't say. I always. When I saw Dude Love, I was like, okay, that's just Mick Foley. Yeah, that was good. Yeah, for as big as The Rock was, he worked well with a lot of people. You know, usually those people who are like superstars, they mostly stand on their own for a lot of their career. But The Rock had some very good. I say some of his best things is when other people are a part of it. What we don't want that now, do we? His best work. I like The Rock. I also Undertaker was my favorite wrestler though. That's just I don't know. That's just the type of stuff that I like. Undertaker. Some undead dude. They can't kill him. He was my favorite. And then I guess after that, It was I did like Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart. I don't know. I guess I would put Bret Hart over Shawn Michaels. I don't know. But yeah, those are Macho Man, I guess. I was never really a Hulk Hogan fan. Even when he went, Hollywood Hulk Hogan, like he was slightly more likable, but I was never really a big fan of him. Okay, these look a little better, just a little bit. Try to pull this one up some. Hey, 99, welcome to the stream. Just having a little small conversation about wrestling. Remember the Taker gimmick where he would kidnap and crucify people? Oh yeah, that was was that the Ministry of Darkness Undertaker when he just had the soul patch? Oh, well, not the soul patch, but it was like a goatee. The corporate ministry. I don't know. I don't remember that. That kind of gets a little blurry because that was my least favorite Undertaker. It was better when he was just him, and he was just the Undertaker, not all that stuff. I guess American Badass was good too. I didn't mind that at all, really. But the that acolyte Undertaker, he take on the sea level wrestlers. Yeah, I don't even remember who was in his corporate ministry. Was it like Gangrel? Did he take the Brood? Was the Brood with him? I don't remember. American Badass came after the crucifixion. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're right. Yeah, that was like around, I guess, around the turn of the millennium. He became that for a while, right? Like in the year 2000, he just drive a motorcycle around and put people in the last ride. That was fine. I didn't mind that at all. But I did not like the Ministry of Darkness version of Undertaker. But he was still my favorite wrestler. When he'd ride on a motorcycle with the American flag band, yeah, and he had Kid Rock and did he hit people with bats, or am I confusing that with Sting? I don't remember. I don't remember. I forget what the buildup was for the crucifixion storyline. Oh yeah, I don't. The last thing I remember around that era was they were he was. I think there was some kind of beef with the Nation of Domination, and then um yeah, I don't remember either, to be honest. I know he taken some time off, or was that after or before? I don't remember honestly. That's a little shaky. Let's see. Dissolve. Let me dissolve this. I'm gonna try to match these squares with that square with these rows here somewhat. Maybe that'll help kind of make it look better. Yeah, I have no idea anymore. I think Vince McMahon was involved, but he was involved in everything, so it's kind of that's not helpful. Because of course there was a corporate ministry, so he was doing stuff for Vince McMahon. I just don't remember what exactly that was. Everybody went through that at least once. They had The Rock when The Rock was with the what was it the is it the corporation? Vince McMahon. Uh, I don't remember his stable, whatever the heck you would call it. And then the Stone Cold did the same thing. It's like I feel like all the top stars had to work for Vince McMahon, like in the storyline for at one point or another, screwing people over. All right, so we're gonna dissolve that one. Maybe they put that stuff in one of the games. I don't know. I have a lot of I've collected a lot of the wrestling games. We all played through them. It would help jog my memory. Maybe it's in SmackDown Know Your Role or something like that. Or Day of Reckoning. I've never actually played that game. I think that was a GameCube game only. Let's see. Okay, so we got bang, bang, and then bang. I'm gonna move this up. I'm just lining up everything with the back of the ears. Hopefully that'll help keep everything or as even as I can get it. Some little bunching here and there, but just ever so slight corrections can fix that. So we just won't let them get out of hand like we did before. I kept saying, well, I'll just fix it later, and then have to spend a couple hours doing that off stream. I'd rather not, uh, compound work like that this time around. So we're going to try to get everything nice and neat before we get too far into it. I'm seeing this little dip here. I don't know when that happened. Oh yeah, okay. So when I put the line in the back of his neck, I think that was from the that Big Show reference. It's okay though because things like this, I can keep reinforcing those as I bake it, so we won't lose that detail. We'll just have to kind of magnify it a little bit later. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and we just got this extra vertex here. Yeah, maybe we should not make it round. I'm just gonna go ahead and dissolve that. We'll make it like that, and then I think we'll just arrange it as we fill this space in. Let's see. Now I'm just gonna just make some minor adjustments here and there. Okay, we should be fine. I think we can go ahead and go on with the forehead. Oh, okay, I'm here for real this time. Twitch tripping. Okay, no problem. I saw you stream this past weekend. I'm sorry I missed it. I was looking out for it at around the time that you said for the first day, but I don't think you streamed that day. And then you streamed earlier than I thought you would come back that same time the next time. But when I came back for that time and checked, it's you had already streamed like 7 or 8 hours before. I was like, oh, I missed it. What was it? How was that game? What was it? Harvestalia? I want to check that out. I saw a little bit of it on the VOD. It looked fun. Looked fun enough to play, honestly. Harvestella. It's Final Fantasy mixed with Harvest Moon. Yeah, I'm about to check that out one day. Looked fun. But I definitely like that Marvel Rivals. That definitely seems pretty fun. I think it was a beta and a fighting game player that I watch. They're pretty big into Marvel, so they were playing it and it looked fun to me. I would have tried it if it wasn't a beta, but they were giving out they were like time codes, like limited time codes and whatnot. I was like, I'm not gonna wait for that. I'll just watch them. But it looked really fun. Can't believe how much Final Fantasy 14 they put into it. I'm trying to unlock Magitech and Magicite refinement. Oh, really? Is that a Final Fantasy thing? I'm starting to wonder now. I thought it was at first, but if they're doing it, then is that really a Final Fantasy thing? Sure, it's not like a JR Tolkien thing. I don't know. I don't know anything about that world except that some things that were in that world are in Final Fantasy, like Mithril and even Soul Flares. That comes from is it Tolkien or is it Dungeons and Dragons? I don't remember. I thought that was a Final Fantasy thing because I'm not a big Tolkien person. I don't know anything about that world, but beyond the Lord of the Rings games, and I don't know anything about Dungeons and Dragons. I didn't participate in any tabletop adventures. I kind of should have though, just to see, for the experience. But every time I had the opportunity to, 99, I would always do something else. I'm sorry. I should have checked it out. I should have checked it out because I always hear, RPG horror stories, and that kind of it's kind of piquing my interest now, like with how to play those types of games. Normally, I would just play games that use those rule sets, like Knights of the Old Republic or the first RPG that I've mentioned many times before, Buck Rogers Countdown to Doomsday, that uses D20 rules, and I know a little bit about that rule set because of those games because they use the same rules. Harvester is a Square Enix game. There is a Sid. Oh, okay. Did not know that. I did not know that. You can play either our group. There's always a Sid. Sid is a fixed person in time. Sid is the Nexus. Sid is the answer. Yeah, Biggs and Wedge, which I know are from Star Wars, but Final Fantasy adapted those characters, or adapted that reference, I would say, in most of their games, if not all. I don't think there's a Biggs and Wedge. Wait, is there a Biggs and Wedge in every game, or is that just Final Fantasy 7? Whoops. Yeah, Sid, a Gilgamesh. Uh, the summons, the chocobos. There are other things too that get carried over. I just can't think of them right now for some reason. But yeah, Sid is definitely that. There's a Biggs in what? Any Final Fantasy game. I'm pretty sure I got that mixed up with something else. Isn't there a Biggs and Wedge in different Final Fantasy games? A Biggs, okay. A Van, yeah. Harvest Moon Sid, okay. There's also Vaughn in one of the main characters in the Final Fantasy game, right? Anyway, I don't think Biggs and Wedge. I think that was just a one time reference to Star Wars. I could be mixing that up. I always thought there was a Biggs and Wedge in every Final Fantasy game. I don't know. I haven't played them in so long. I don't really know. The only one I've played regularly is 11, and even that game is there's things in that game that are being carried over now. So okay, yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. Okay, all right. So I got that right. All right, yeah, I wasn't too sure because, like I said, I don't. I've It's been so long since I played any other Final Fantasy other than the MMOs that I'm starting to slip on the knowledge that I know about some of those games. Only 11 reinforce the only the things that are in 11 reinforce what I already know. Oh, what do we have here? We don't need that line. I'm gonna delete, or not delete, but dissolve it. You don't want to delete it. You want to dissolve it. I'm looking, looking, looking. His nose is a different shape. Well, doesn't. Well, it'll be fine once we hit. If we use shrink wrap. Well, actually, hold on. I think we can just move it and be all right. No, we'll fix it. We'll just have to do another. I'm using a drawing as a likeness reference because I made this guy up. So if there's anything that's off and that's not too far from the drawing, I'll just fix it. It's not a big deal. Sid is love. Sid is life. I don't feel strongly about Sid one way or the other. That's one of the party members in Seven that I didn't really use a lot. I usually just stuck to Barrett, Cloud, Tifa, and Vincent, like Yuffie or Yuffie, as I used to say as a kid. I don't know. I'm not sure of the pronunciation because I haven't played any of the remakes yet. But Yuffie or Red 13 is kind of like the in between. That's like the middle guy. Like sometimes I would use him, sometimes I wouldn't. But Yuffie, Kate Sith, and Sid those were like my least used people. I would use them, but not as much as the others. So I don't know. Sue me. There's a couple of Sid I really like, and a couple I really don't like. I like Sid in 11. You know, he just sits in. You know, he gets involved, of course, but he sits in. You know, his little metal workshop. Tells me to go. You know, check the readings and Dangrif Wadi and come back. He does more than that, but you know what I'm saying. And you have him as a trust. But that's a trust that I do not use ever. So 11 and 14 both have great Sid. Yeah, he's pretty involved in the lore of Final Fantasy. Of course, he would be because he's Sid, right? I don't know anything about any other Sids. Is there a Sid in 8, 9? Probably, but I don't know them because I haven't played those games. I didn't get very far into those games. So I don't know if there were those types of Sids. I know everyone was goo goo gaga for the Sid in 15, right? That's when they turned Sid into a woman. I know a lot of people were cosplaying and doing fan art for that, right? They were going for, I don't know. I wonder if that was like kind of inspired by Transformers, where you have like the hot chick that's also like good with, I don't know, seemingly good with, you know, cars or some kind of mechanic. I feel like that's a, I feel like that's a trope of some kind or archetype. So a tip just popped up called Pro Tip. Have you ever tried enchanting pumpkin seeds in an altar? Well, the answer to that is no, and I guess I'll find out if that's a thing when that pack is up and running. I'll try it. You know I likes to farm. Gotta have all the plants so you can build all the stuff and make it look however you want. Crops are good for that. Even if you use the crops as a decoration, you know. That's usually the main that and all the all the food stuff. You know, gotta have my refrigerator stocked. You know, with all the best foods. You go in, get you something to eat. You know, get you some hearts. You know, if you got the spice of life stuff or the nutritional value mod. I guess that's spice of life. I don't actually remember anymore because we always have that mod, and I don't even remember what mod it is anymore. It almost seems like it's a part of the pack always now. That's not something that you can see that's a thing. It's just there unless they introduce an item. Then you can say, oh yeah, it's from that. That's the mod. It's from that mod. But I don't know. I like that mod though. It actually makes eating interesting instead of just like an afterthought. Oh no, my hunger's low. I'll just eat this. I don't know, this piece of steak, and then that's it. That's all it is into it. That's all there is to it. Or I can make this gourmet meal in my kitchen. All right, and get more out of it. You know, 8 Sid is one of the worst. 9 Sid is funny. 15 had a male and a female Sid. Okay, I did not know that. I'm gonna find out because once we're done with as far as JRPGs, once we're done with all the Shadow Hearts games, I'm gonna be looking. I'm gonna be searching high and low for another RPG series to get into. All right, 11 is gonna be I'm not 11, but Final Fantasy in general is gonna be an investment because there's so many of them. I don't know if I'll do that like back to back, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way up to 16. That's gonna be crazy. All right, we're gonna have to intersperse them. That series is just too big. All right, and then there's all the spin-offs and all that stuff. So I don't know if we'll because I can't see myself playing just that for RPGs. Maybe I don't know, but right now I can't see it. When is the next Shadow Hearts night? Tonight. Tonight is the next night. I was unable to stream past Tuesday, so I couldn't stream anymore. But we're going to continue that tonight, and I'm going to try to do two more streams this week. counting tonight. I feel like we're making good progress in that game, so I want to keep it going. I don't want to put that game on a shelf and then forget what I was doing. Like, we're gonna try not to do that. We're gonna try to do regular streams and progression, so we can get to Shadow Hearts Covenant. That's two, right? Isn't that two? I don't know. I'm a newcomer to the Shadow Hearts franchise. So, but yeah, we're gonna get them all. There's a lot of RPGs that don't have sequels, and we can probably mix some of those in. But when I do, if I can find a smaller series like Shadow Hearts and just play through all of those, I'll do it back to back for those. But like Yeast, Atelier, those are like really long series. So I don't know. We're gonna have to. I don't know how I'm gonna do those, but we are gonna do them. Now, one problem I had with doing retopology over a big area is the lines slowly curve off to the side. I don't want that to happen because that can get out of control. You'll get to the point where it'll just spiral around the head, and then I have to kind of you know, manipulate that. I don't want to do that. So we're gonna make sure that we keep the lines as straight as we can. I'm gonna uncheck that. Wait, hold on. Let me get this. Rotate, rotate. I say. Oh yeah, I don't remember mob griefing. Yeah, that was a. Was it the villagers? Was it something to do with the villagers? I know you didn't ask me, but I'm just thinking out loud now. uh, or something to do with fire? Was it fire? It was a fire, wasn't it? You don't want fire burning down your stuff, right? Oh, okay, never mind. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, we're just making these lines less curvy. All right, we want to make sure that everything lines up nice, nice and neat. Yeah, that's right. The Enderman. Yeah, Enderman just putting holes in your build. That's become less and less of a problem since we have mega torches. Once we were using those regularly, you just keep them. You just build one of those and they'll just stay away unless you want them there. There may have been times where that was a thing. I don't know. I just don't want. I don't want anybody stomping out my crops. I hate that. My crops are completely gone on the last server because crows for one, and then frogmen they just get in the garden and just start jumping around like a bunch of fleas for no reason at all. It's only what it's actually my fault because I had my garden surrounded by like 4 block walls all around it, and if there's frogmen in the pack, they're gonna try to jump up to the next thing and or just jump in general. I don't know, but I felt like that was a part of it. And then it was the crows. The crows came and ate the stuff. And next time I'm gonna put my crops indoors. See how you like that. See how you like that, crows and outside animals and whatnots. Get out of my crops. Enderman's the main one because they will take any block, including things from multi-block builds and redstone. Good luck finding which one they took. I've never had a problem with Enderman taking. Is you? They normally just take dirt from me. I never had them take like anything. I think it's because of the all the mob griefing stuff. But once I get that mega torch down, we're good. I mean, of course they could teleport in, but they only normally do that when it's raining, and they'll just continually teleport away. That's the only time I ever see an Enderman all over my stuff is when it's raining and they're trying to teleport into a dry area. They never teleport in my house, which is kind of weird. Looking for a dry space, and my house is usually spacious. Even as a one chunk build, but I've never seen an Enderman teleport into the house out of the rain and stay there. They usually just teleport. I think maybe they just go max distance when they touch water. Maybe that's how they work. I don't know. I'm just musing here. No froglins in BE4 good because they are super annoying when it comes to outside crops. They just jump for no reason, and they jump so freaking high that they damage the crops, and they'll just keep doing it. No kobolds. I saw the Twilight. I've only seen the Twilight Forest kobolds. Didn't see the other ones. Yeah, I've never even seen them, so uh, I'm not gonna miss them. If you didn't tell me about the kobolds, I would have just thought you were talking about the Twilight Forest ones because those are the only ones I've seen. Gnomes? Did I see a gnome? I saw an orc. That's the only thing that I saw that was out of the ordinary, and that was when I was digging out my little water temple area. I saw one orc. That was interesting, but yeah, I don't think I've seen a gnome. Forget a gnome. Beats me. The only thing that's a danger to me starting out in Builder's Delight are Komodo dragons, one, crocodiles, two, because often have to cross water or into a tropical area, and one of those two mobs I will encounter. Three, those long neck monster girls that are in the basement of that house that it looks like an Adams family house because they can stretch their necks beyond the ground and continuously attack you from a very long distance, and they hit really hard. And of course, last but not least, but definitely my least favorite, Skelliwags. One of those mobs I will run into while I'm looking for my perfect little area that I always try to look for at the beginning of the game. Out of those, I only really care about the Skelliwags because I cannot avoid those. I can't avoid them. I'm going to run into a Skellawag eventually. All the other mobs I can avoid unless there's some kind of weird terrain. There was this one time where I was looking for a house, which is basically on a peninsula or on a coast that's near a water temple. Next time we do a server, I might not do that. I think I'm gonna just try to make an area simulating it because if we have spawn eggs, I don't need a water temple. There's just no point. I with the hey studio, welcome to the stream. Don't hear music. We I'm gonna have to turn that one up. Oh, it was working great. Yeah, it was that specific track. It's quiet. Okay. Yeah, my music is not normalized. It's not now. It's like a. It's not the same um volume because I just downloaded it from random sources and the levels aren't the same across the music. I'm really gonna have to look into that. I'm gonna go through every song one by one and make them all the same volume. So I apologize for that. If you can't hear it, oh, I know exactly where they're from. Judicious. They're from Alex's Mobs. I uh I hate those things. Not only do they make traveling in the sea completely unsafe, no matter where you are in the water. If you go anywhere near them, and especially if you're in the open water and there's no land around, um, they can kill you, and they hit really hard. They're like worse than the super sharks. Okay, you know when sharks were like way worse than they were. They aren't so much now. As a matter of fact, I rarely even see a shark, but a skellawag, if you go anywhere near a shipwreck, which could be hidden, by the way, hidden by kelp, they'll get you. And of course they protect ships. I kind of need to get in the ship, but you know that, like I said, that's not a that in of itself I can figure out. It's getting away from the skellawag that's the problem. Okay, it's even if you do get to land, they could just jump on the land. They jump on the land and they flop towards you like with scary accuracy. They don't flop randomly like every other fish. They flop at you. You can't get away from them, and they just keep hitting you. And then if something is riding them, like something with a trident, now you got a ranged skellawag. That's even worse. I think that actually did kill me, but I had already got a death, so it didn't really matter. When I try to do when I do these when I do builds, I try not to die. That's like a personal challenge of mine. I get so tilted when I die. Once I die, I'm good. You know, I don't care anymore. But when I'm on life one, I like my stress level is so high when I know I'm in, like if I'm in the water, I am so stressed out when I'm in the water because I know what's gonna happen. The skellawag is gonna have a good chance of killing me. And it's always when I don't have my armor. Once I get my armor, the armor, like I could build this crazy sets of armor. Once I get that armor, they don't do anything to me. They can't do anything to me after that. But it's always before that because I always wait till like the last possible minute to make that armor. For some reason, I never rush it. I never rush my armor. I either go for my one of my whatever I'm building, and adventuring is what I do because um I have discovered that I could find pretty much everything that I could possibly want or need just through adventuring instead of just mining. I don't know if you'll see that like on a stream, like me just digging a tunnel. I feel like that's kind of boring unless I have like a tool that can just clear out tunnels. But I can find everything that I could possibly want just by exploring. That's more fun to me. So I normally do that instead of digging. And I only dig when I absolutely need blocks. Oh yeah, they only spawn in deep ocean as ships in deep ocean. Okay, 1.20.1. Okay, so that's only going to be my problem, of course, because I usually build in the deep ocean. Problem with that is, water is getting harder and harder to clear. So I don't. I mean, the oceans are deep now. It's not like it was in like 112 where it was just, you only have to clear 32 blocks vertically of water, 32 by 32 or 32 by 64 around a temple. Now sometimes you gotta go like, I don't know, double that, maybe even triple that. And it takes weeks and I'm tired of doing it. So I mean I'm gonna have to find another way to do. I might have to actually just dig out an area instead of clear out water. Because I like I said, I'm kind of averse to digging these days, which is, kind of the point of the game, of course. But we have a mining dimension, so you don't really have to dig. I like just, clearing out the water and filling it with my build, but thanks to the deeper oceans, because they increase the height limit, the build limit, and either way, up and down, I might just dig out a hole. And I might just bite the bullet and just go back to digging because I can't deal with that stuff anymore. It's very helpful getting hearts of seas and stuff, but the Skelliwags, man, they're in the way. So they're always in the way. Get out of the way, Skelliwags. Get out of the way. All right. I need you to get out of my way. In single player, I have the height at 640. Oh, please test that. I mean, not for my sake. If it doesn't work on the server, it doesn't work. But I'm sure you are going to test it. But that would be very interesting to have on a server if it could work. Um, but you know what I'm going to do? I think this is a better idea, right? I know you're testing the world border. I'm gonna wait until there's a world border before I decide where to go because I don't want to, I don't want to get trapped into the void. That was my first death in the last server. I was like eight. I think I actually made it to 8,000 blocks before I found what I was looking for. I can find it within 10,000 blocks. I usually travel around about 10,000 blocks either north or east, and most of the time, I would say 100% of the time, I will find the perfect spot within that zone, which I'm not going to do next time. So that's not a big deal. So, um, yeah, the that was so. I thought what it was already. It's a diameter. Yeah. I avoided three Skelliwags, three of them. They almost killed me though. They almost killed me. And actually, one time I actually had to exit out the game because they were going to kill me. I had the I actually made it. I made it. And then one day I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get in there and play some Minecraft. I feel like playing some Minecraft. And then I logged into the game and it was like the world wasn't loading. So I sat there and waited. If I had known what that looked like, I would have immediately disconnected and then just waited. And like, yeah, I can't log in. Something, anything. But since it had the look of it, the world was just loading in. And it was some lags. I just waited, and apparently I was dying the entire time. And I had some enhanced armor, so it took a while. So I was like, okay, but the world should have loaded in by now. Next thing I know, I'm dead. I'm like, oh, that was a stab to the heart. I was like, all of that surviving, scratching and surviving. I get killed by the void or something like the void. I don't know. I think it just said I suffocated, but it might as well have been the void. It's just a slower death, and you don't even see it. It just has the look of lag. So there was no way I could have prevented that death because of the way it looked. If they had just showed me my life and showed me that I was dying, I would have instantly realized what was happening. But they don't even do that. It's just when you're outside of the world border, it just looks like you're not loaded in, and then you just die. I saw one of those houses too. I was like, I'm not going in there. Like I avoided everything. I'm like, I'm not going in there. If I go in that house, they're gonna kill me. Because the second you enter the basement, you can't get back up out of the basement. There's like a big, it's like a just like a Victorian. I don't know if you've ever seen. I don't know how the new Adams Family stuff looks, but if you remember the stuff they had like in the '90s or even the black and white one, because they used to come on Nick at Night, so I've seen it. Um, it's a house like that. Once you see it, you'll know. And they have some crazy stuff in the basement. You go in that basement, it's like a drop into the basement. You can't get out, and there's like 4 or 5 of them things in there, and they hit probably just as hard as the Skelliwags, and their heads can go through blocks and stretch. Some old favorites are back. I think they're in 15. There's 15 Oh, hey Trig, welcome to the stream. Welcome. Oh yeah, Atom. I've really enjoyed the Atom and getting the spawn eggs for the pharaohs. I had a plan for that. I'm still gonna build my gauntlet, my tower of power. I was gonna call it, and the whole thing behind it is I was gonna get the eggs of the most dangerous mobs and have them spawn in the tower, and the goal is just to get to the top. Once you get to the top of the tower, I was gonna have this custom built armor that makes you like incredibly strong as a reward. And I was gonna set it up to where it couldn't be abused. All you had to do was just get to the top. That was it. I don't know how to rig it to where if you kill the enemy, it lets you go up, so you can run up or you can fight your way up. But the point is to get to the top. And once you get to the top, yeah, once you get to the top, I was gonna have it so where you get to choose a type of reward, and once you go through the door, you can't come back out. And then, well, the point was to have like something teleport you out of there, but we don't have waypoints anymore, so I'm gonna have to work on that. But I think you could put we had portals, so we could put portals up there. I don't know, but that was an idea that I was gonna have somewhere in my little Ballervania build. That's what I call it. You know what? If I make a pack or a mod, I'm gonna call it Ballervania. It's gonna be Builders Light exclusive. That's what I'm gonna do. You know, I do want to make. I'm gonna try making a mod before I make a video game. Uh, I've seen people do stuff for Minecraft in Blender, so I'm gonna have to take a look at that. But yeah, Builders Light exclusive Ballervania version 1.0. I don't know what's gonna be in it. It's gonna be decorative stuff mostly because that fits with the goal of the pack. But that idea that you had, Judicious, with the gods and all that, I think we can make that work. I just don't have like I need to like figure out like how that the mechanics of it was gonna work. I'm assuming I'm assuming you were thinking of something like Conan Exiles, but more in depth. I do like those mechanics. I actually played that game, but I felt like that part of it, the most interesting part of Conan Exiles, was kind of lacking. I think that if you could put more into like maybe not so much to summon like a giant thing or whatever, but kind of work up to I don't know like a big tree of progression towards affinity towards some kind of deity. I don't know. I've been thinking about that a lot. Temple of Trainwrecks. The Temple of Trainwrecks. The Temple of the Three Deaths instead of the Three Winds. I think you'd get that tree. I think you get that reference. But I think that could work. I have not seen that idea in anything. Let's see. Oh, this line here is really bothering me. I'm gonna move that. I don't know why I didn't see that before. I'm gonna move this line, this entire line here, closer to the center. Oh, like so. There's a sword art online that has the climbing tower that you have to beat each floor. I've never seen sword art online, but a gauntlet tower, that's in quite a few things. I can't name exactly one thing because I've seen it a lot, but that was the idea I was thinking of. Just something to just go all the way up and it just gets harder and harder. And I had the idea because I actually got well, at the time there was a point where I had spawned eggs for bosses, so that's where the idea came to me because I didn't expect to get a boss egg. It just dropped. I think I had one. I had one for the Hydra and the Urgas, and I was like, huh, I can do something with this. And then that's when the idea came to me. And I thought, well, in case I never get those eggs again, and I haven't since, I could probably find mobs that are pretty tough. We have some tough mods in the pack. Atem was one, but we don't have that either. Uh, oh, but this past time around, what's his name? The pirate, Deadbeard. Deadbeard's pretty challenging, and he blows himself up. Only problem is, uh, he seems to work differently when you spawn him. Like he doesn't. He has this mechanic to where if his life is low, he'll take out a giant barrel in TNT and just hold it over his head and activate it, and you have to kill him before it goes off. But instead, he'll have a random chance of blowing up when you kill him, if you spawn him. So it's not the same thing, you know. We're not have to just murder, just straight up kill anyone here. Okay, there's no fun in that. All right, the point is a challenge. All right, not just it's not meant to be. I want to be the guy where everything is just trying to kill you. And I've already been accused of making things like this. I don't want to give that any weight. Okay, I have actually never done that. All right, it was just one little mishap that happened. All right, and I get painted as some kind of evil mastermind. My very first, I'll tell you what it is. My very first build in Terraria, Baller. That's where Ballervania originates from. I built one full version of Ballervania where I had this crazy idea to where I wanted to make some kind of like aqueduct in my castle that has constant running water. And when I was doing, I was siphoning off the water into the underworld because when you put water in the underworld, it evaporates. So I was like, maybe I can make like a running system of water going throughout my base. Long story short, because of the mechanics of the game that does not work, the longer water travels, it increases in volume. So eventually, I had a tunnel network that was just completely submerged in water, and I even flooded hell. And I did it in a merman. Also built it in a merman suit, so anyone walking through my castle would never make it. And I had someone test it. Someone that we play with occasionally test it, and they died. And I don't know. I guess I guess that kind of became, oh, I built stuff that kills people. It became like a running joke. And then eventually, people started believing that, that my stuff just kills people. It does not, okay? That was just an accident. I built it. I didn't consider the fact that I built it in a merman suit. So you cannot, if you don't have a merman suit, you cannot go through Ballervania and live because you'll drown because of the mistake of the aqueduct idea that I had just did not work. Grass stone. Whoa. Oh, wait a minute. Is that an? Okay, I thought that was a second vertex there, and we don't want that. That's what the stuff like that will cause us a little bit of trouble later. We don't want that. So I'm gonna line these lines up with this line here. Okay. Actually, no. We're gonna have to delete a line. It looks like, which is no problem. We're gonna make sure that this is lines up good. Wow, Ballerania, man. It's everything. That's what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be everything. Okay. Originally, it just started off as a build that has whatever biomes were in Terraria. It was a big build that incorporated all the biomes in Terraria. Okay, and then it became a castle, and then it became, I don't know, an island. Now it's an island. It's a big giant island now. But I haven't gotten to the point where I actually finished the island because it's so large. And I don't know. Sometimes life just gets in the way, and I don't finish it. I've spent more time this current time. I've spent more time on art than in Minecraft, so I haven't been really building the current one that I'm building now. But we'll finish it. That's my resolution. We will finish Ballerania one day. And it's sometimes it's the journey, okay, not the destination. But yeah, I'll finish my build. Part of it is because I've, like I said, all the problems with water. We're going to try something different next time. I'm not going to build with water, and we're going to see how much, because I feel like water just slows everything down now. It didn't used to. Thus, it was easier, you know, like with the death egg and all that stuff. But my building on land is way faster than building in water now. So I think next time I'm just gonna build on land and just clear out the land. With a decent tool, it doesn't take too long. Water is just too. It takes too freaking long. Okay, it just takes too freaking long. I think I'm gonna delete these lines. Yeah, I should just delete them. Let's see what happens if I just delete these lines here. It gets this part gets wider. This part gets wider and wider as we go down, and it kind of shrinks. Let's try to dissolve. Sounds like your music is fighting your voice audio. Uh-oh. What is this? Oh, maybe it's too loud. Sorry. Welcome in, Typo. Talking about Ball of Mania. Music was too high. Okay, I can't hear it because I have it down. Some things are louder than others. I'm sorry. I need to really make all the music the same volume. I downloaded it from different sources, so never heard of it. That was some kind of Streets of Rage. Yeah, some kind of Streets of Rage remix that I found on YouTube at some point. I don't know which one because I haven't. It's been a while since I, listened to this stuff outside of streaming. So, it's just stuff that I had on my computer that I just put. I was like, okay, it's a video game music, so just put it on my thing instead of something licensed. Oh, Paula, what you call it? Never heard of it. It will be a thing one day, okay? You just stop right there. It will be a thing one. Oh, it will be a thing one day. Something tangible. Something that you can see, touch, and explore, and get killed in. Apparently, 'cause that's what people believe. I was telling about the one that I built on Terraria. That you remember that one, the one with it got flooded, and I built it in a merman suit, and it was just impossible to live in. Yeah, Visions of Ballerina. Yeah, Dream World Ballerina. I kind of want to. Oh, yeah. Yep. See. Yep. He knows. He was there. He was there when it happened. Sorry. Didn't mean to do it. Okay. It was just an oversight. All right. My stuff does not get people killed normally. I just goofed. All right. I done goofed. I think I'm screwed up when I deleted that line because now I have like these small. That's okay. I'll just put another line in. I think I should be able to just do that. Should have left that line in and just space it out some. But I can just add it back. It's not a big deal. So I'm gonna try to get this as straight as I can here. I'm gonna rotate. You know what? Let me just try to grab everything. Not that one. Grab everything here. I guess that's enough. And then just pull it back, and then we can just straighten it later. Or straighten it after. I don't even remember where you get a merman suit from, to be honest. It's been a while since I played. Where the heck do you get a merman suit from? Oh, wait, hold on. Still a little bit. Yeah, we need another line. We should have put that line. We should have kept that line where it was. That's okay though. Yeah, see, we could just put it back. It's not a big deal. There, it's back. See? It was like I didn't even do anything. Yeah, I heard about that. I am. You heard about Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom? Yeah, yeah. That. I mean, well, I mean, they do have a Tony Stark becoming Doctor Doom in the comics, but I know a lot of people don't like that idea for the movie. You know, seems like they're just reusing the same things over and over. I don't know. I guess that's the way that's where they're headed. You know, bringing stuff they've already done back. I don't feel strongly about it. One way or another. You know. But I know there was a lot of people who were like, "Man, what?" You know, it's like whatever. You know, they gotta try something, I guess. See, I'm looking at the face. We need to bring these lines closer. We gotta space this area out some. You know, when you add more, you start seeing more things sometimes. So that's what we're doing now. I'm just trying to correct the side. So I kind of have to pause the forehead some. Oh, just doing a little too much there. What was it? Was it control in? Yeah, it was. All right. Oh, I just goofed there. That's much easier than just clicking it one at a time. I have to remember all of the shortcuts. Yeah, you're not gonna get that. You're not gonna get that. Yeah, I was looking at I saw a GIF somewhere. Harley was fighting Katana. It was a very well done scene. It was like DC animated. That fight was really good, whatever it was. I don't see Harley Quinn giving it to Katana like that, but apparently, I mean, other than that, it was actually very well animated. That's going to be my next venture is going to be in animation. So I try to keep a lookout for things like that. All right, so we're basically back where we started. We're just going to have to make the minute adjustments that we need to make here. It's mainly this row here. I'm trying to line this row with what's going on up there, and I'm gonna make it nice and even. Let's see, one, two. Yeah, see, it's like an extra line. What in the world? We actually have an extra line here. That's why I deleted it in the first place. But that clearly isn't the way to go. Oh my! Stop, please. Okay. You have to travel in the direction that the arrows are going. Exactly, up or down will rotate. But if I go left and right, they just twist around like a little twisty tie. Okay. Just follow the arrows. That's all you got to do. Yeah, he's not going to be in. Maybe as a voice, he could probably do the voice work, but he's not going to be doing any. I don't think he's going to be doing anything physical anymore. he had a stroke some years back, so he's kind of he's I don't think he's done any physical roles since then, but he's done voice work, so I guess in that regard he can still do that, but it seemed to be a pretty bad stroke, so Robert Downey Jr. probably won't. He's not even gonna have the mask. That's what people's concerns are with this, right? You're gonna know it's Robert Downey Jr., right? But see, Doom has the mask on his face all the time. It's burned onto his face, right? People are afraid that he's not gonna have his mask, and that's kind of like a part of who Doom is, right? Like I said, I don't feel strongly about it. I was just reading what other people were saying about it because Jim Carrey doesn't like to wear masks. I wear a mask in Kick Ass too. Of all the sequels I wanted him to do, it would have been The Mask 2, I think. But that one didn't. I think that movie got canceled. They were going to make a Mask 2 at one point, but I don't think they ever. I don't forget why they didn't do it. They just didn't do it. He made an Ace Ventura sequel. He doesn't. He's not really a big fan of sequels. He's been starring in more sequels lately, but he doesn't like doing sequels. Oh, yeah, okay, my bad. I almost thought that was a joke, but then I was like, oh, maybe serious. Okay, I don't know. Yeah, but that wasn't Jim Carrey. That was Jamie Kennedy. And from the looks of it, that movie looks like it did not. It was not good. Not worth my time at least. Maybe somebody out there likes it. They may just play them. Well, I think some people were saying that the reason why they did this was because they they canceled Jonathan Majors, and that all the Kang the Conqueror stuff is out the window now. So now they're just okay. We'll just bring back Robert Downey Jr. as Doom. This is like Plan B. That's what people were thinking. Some people were speculating that, but I don't know, man. It's uh, it's something, I guess. I don't know. I have not seen. I don't think I've seen one movie that has Kang the Conqueror in it anyway. I've missed quite a few of them lately. I saw Deadpool versus Wolverine this weekend. I liked it, but other than that, no. The last, no, it's been a bit since I've seen a Marvel movie. Wait, which one had? There was one that had Kang. I thought that was the Loki series. I think that was the Loki series. Um, I was hoping they would focus on the X Men rather than Fantastic Four, given that movie hasn't been done well since the '90s. Oh, fantastic! Well, that's why X Men had some success. Now they want to bring back Fantastic Four, so I don't know. Maybe their thing was they wanted to kind of establish that before X Men. I think they're just trying to like because I think the last X Men movie was what? I mean, if you don't count the Deadpool movies because they're considered the same universe. The last X Men movie was what? Dark Phoenix. That was what was that? 2019, 2020, or something like that. There's a lot of X Men movies, so I guess they're kind of like they're trying to that's on cooldown. As they say. Those movies are on cooldown. Okay, I went X Men. That's really the only thing that I remotely care about in Marvel, but because now after seeing Deadpool versus Wolverine, there's really no difference between the movies and the comics anymore. Like the movies are basically doing the same thing that the comics do, as far as continuity and characters and stories and whatnot. Hey, realness, welcome to the stream. I think they introduced mutants full force in the Secret Wars movie, and they have their Avengers versus X-Men moment. Yeah, probably. Actually, you know what? I think what was it? What's the one girl. I haven't seen it yet. The show, was it Miss Marvel? Not not the not the blonde hair whatever her name is. I can't remember her name right now. Not her, but the younger one. The what's her name? Kamala. Does she do like stretchy arms? I don't know. She's Miss Marvel, the high schooler. Yeah, they introduced mutants through her, right? Like they confirmed she was a mutant now. So that, I guess that's the official introduction. Besides all the the Wolverine and the Professor X uh, cameos that they've been slowly like kind of trickling in little hints here and there that mutants are they're here in the movies now, but nothing really like, oh, okay, no, mutants are now in the MCU. It's not really like, technically they're there, but they're not really. I guess they're not. It's not like a proper uh introduction for them. I don't know where they came from, man. I don't. They changed it so many times. Like the first class had it was from radiation. Okay, the first class movies. The original X-Men movies, it was from evolution, right? Uh, then they teased it with Ultron, with the not Ultron, but the yeah Ultron with the experimentation on humans, right? So I don't, and now they're making it so, especially with the latest Marvel movie, they're making it so that all these movies actually are canon now. Even the movies that didn't really go anywhere, they're all canon. Canon movies that they didn't make, that they were planning on making, that's canon apparently. Everything that's not owned by MCU, they're now canon. They're just making everything canon now with all this multiverse stuff. So, uh, as far as the MCU is concerned, I don't know. I never seen the Miss Marvel show, so I don't know if, like, I don't know how she got her powers, but I know that they're saying that she's a mutant now, so I have no clue. It's gonna be kind of hard to explain. Like, okay, well, they kind of written themselves into a corner, because it's like, okay, if mutants were here, then why didn't they show up when before Thanos's little sky pillar snake monsters came? Where were they then? They kind of have to make it so that I feel like they kind of have to introduce them through another universe now. It's like, okay, they're just here now. Didn't they come from the sewers and like pizza? Yeah, actually, that's their origin was based off of Daredevil's origin. So, you're not too far off from that, but Daredevil's not really a mutant. He's, I don't know what the heck Daredevil is. But he got his powers from some kind of chemical compound that got on his body. Yeah, but that's just it. When you snap, there's an outburst of gamma radiation. Oh shoot, hold on, my music overpowered the chat window. Yeah, but that's just it. When you snap, there's an outburst of gamma radiation. There's your fixed point that activates genius. Yeah, you could do it that way. I mean, I'm sure they could do it that way. Make it so that the Thanos snap did that. That's kind of like DC's equivalent to the Superboy Prime Punch, just changing reality. It's just that ridiculous, when you think about it. So why not? Like I said, there's no real difference anymore between the comics and the movie. So yeah, you could just do it that way. Their ideas come from the series. Yeah. Turtles' origin is literally Daredevil's origin. It's very influenced by Daredevil. The Foot Clan, that's the Hand. You know, Elektra wearing red with size. All the turtles wore red bandanas in the comic books, but only one of them has size. But that's where it comes from, basically. They even said it's the same truck that that spilled the chemicals on the turtles is the same truck that spilled the chemicals on Daredevil's eyes. That's their official canon. So it's like you're not too far off. Bitten by radioactive hack. DC is just so off on the rails in comparison. It sounds fun. Sounds fun they do it, but in Marvel, I feel like they try to tether to reality a bit. Yeah, I think I've never been a big DC guy. As far as the movie is concerned, they're not really planning ahead like Marvel is, right? But the animations are great. You know, they're making you know, the Penguin show looks like Sopranos basically. I know there's a lot of comparisons there. You know, Penguin's pretty much Tony Soprano at this point. I kind of want to see that though, just to see what they do. I don't know how Penguin's going to make it through this. Well, actually, you know, they could just do it, but you know, it seems kind of funny that Penguin's going to be able to do all this stuff and Batman's never going to show up. He's just going to be off doing something. That's kind of jarring to me because you know Batman's usually everywhere, but whatever. You know, you just for those types of shows, you just have to pretend that you know he's just not going to show up. He's not going to exist because he never does really. DC will break their own laws in the comics to make things fun. Yeah, the one thing I don't like about DC, and you know, Marvel is not exempt from this either, is their I don't know the reasons for rebooting, you know, long running seasons or titles. In this case, you know, we're talking about the comics. I think their space stuff is way more in depth than Marvel's is, but when people think of DC, they don't think about you know Dark Side or uh you know all the other stuff. Where does Bizarro come from? He's from a different world, isn't he? Green Lantern stuff, you know all the stuff that Green Lanterns have to fight, you know, Sinestro and Brainiac, you know, you see all that stuff in games or in the cartoons, but never, not really in the movies. And when they do the space stuff in the movies, it doesn't do well with the audiences. You know, I don't know who the hell a Steppenwolf is, but I didn't care. That's the point. I just didn't care. And I didn't care about Marvel space stuff either, because I know just about as much as Marvel space stuff than as I do with DC's. But they did theirs way better for some reason. I don't know. Mirror universe. Yeah. Okay. 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 Yeah. Universe. People don't think about Scooby Doo's DC comics. You're right. I don't. Scooby Doo doesn't think about their comics either. You know, they're busy doing reboots and reimaginings. I don't think that's something that needs to be either, right? Scooby Doo, but whatever. You know, they got what's her name? I think Mindy Kaling has her Scooby Doo thing. I think you know what I think because all of her shows are really about her. I think she wanted to do a show about her, and they're like, "Nah, you got to make it like Scooby Doo," and she just said, "Okay." I think that's why that happened. I don't think she set out to make a Scooby Doo show. That's so random. It's literally just everything that she normally does, but in a Scooby Doo format. When it comes to you know a Mindy Kaling show, I think she just had her hands tied by the executives because there's literally no reason. The thing about DC for me always is always why hasn't a cop ever shot Joker? That you know I asked that same question myself. If I was a cop in DC and I don't know, man. Or DC Comics, sorry. Not in DC. In Gotham. If I was a cop in Gotham and Joker was there in front of me, you know, I don't see how anybody would blame me if I just killed Joker. Except Batman, you know. I feel like if I was in that universe and I tried to kill Joker, somehow Batman would stop me because they won't kill him. They won't let him die. So it's like, even if I were in that situation, I feel like somehow Batman would come and save Joker's life. And then I'll be in jail anyway. But literally, yeah, there's no excuse for someone to just not take one for the team and for the sake of the city. But you know, I guess there's so many excuses that they try to make as to why Joker is there. It's a little bit past suspension of disbelief at this point. I feel like people were tired of Joker anyway. Well, I mean, for the most part. I know I am. But if you manage to tell a great Joker story, then fine. You know, go ahead and tell it. I don't know how this movie is going to turn out with Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn. I didn't think that movie was going to get a sequel, but I guess I don't know. I guess if you throw enough money at somebody who doesn't like superhero movies, they'll make another. They'll make a superhero movie, right? Oh, that Velma show is offensive to fans. Yeah, I've never seen it. I'm not a fan of Scooby Doo. I've seen the older shows a couple times, and that's about it. Ron Perlman is Lobo. Lobo should have his own show. Yeah, you know why haven't they done Lobo yet? That's a good question. And he's a space guy too, right? You could have him. You could have. They could have introduced all the space stuff through Lobo instead of Green Lantern. You know that just didn't work. Surprised Phoenix agreed to a sequel. I thought he was against it. Yeah, I thought the director was against superhero movies, but he made a superhero movie and he made it like a movie that he made before, and now he's making a sequel. So it's like I said, it's money. It's got to be right. It's got to be money. Money does it. Money. They'll do anything. You throw enough money at them. Okay. Sarah Connor wasn't supposed to be coming back. Well, she's in another Terminator movie. Well, she was in another Terminator movie. I don't know. I'm sure if you throw enough money at these people, they'll return, no matter what they say. Okay. Plot armor deflects bullets too. Yeah. Normally wouldn't care about a superhero movie or musical, but it makes sense for Joker. I mean, I'll watch it. You know, I mean, if I'm bored enough, I'll watch it. I'm not really looking forward to it, but eventually I'll get around to it. You know, I'm not, like I said, I don't feel strongly about these movies one way or the other. If I feel like watching a movie, and I haven't been really watching a lot of things these days, I'm surprised I even took the time to watch Deadpool and Wolverine. But if I feel like watching something, I'll watch it. That's all. We're kind of bunching up a little bit here. I'll straighten that up. Sean Penn should play Bizarro Superman with two suits on. No, you know what they should do? They should just do what Marvel is doing and just bring back a previous Superman, and just make him Bizarro Superman. Just do that. Put Henry Cavill in makeup and just bring him back as Bizarro, or they just use the same actor. Make the same actor Bizarro, and he's just like his face is just jacked up. Yeah, Nick Cage is Bizarro Superman. Yeah, yeah, jack his face up or something, or however, make him pale, and then just. I mean, that's what Marvel's doing, and they're going to copy Marvel, so just do that. No matter what they tell you, DC is copying Marvel. Forget all that. Oh yeah, Marvel's for kids. DC's more serious. No, they're going to copy Marvel because Marvel's stuff works for people. All right. They got the heart. They got the highest grossing R-rated film right now. Okay. DC is supposed to be the mature ones, right? So now they're going to mark my words. They're going to try an R-rated movie now, a big R-rated movie next because Marvel just did it. Marvel now has the highest grossing. Marvel and Disney has the highest grossing R-rated movie right now. All right, that's DC's backyard. They're going to try it. Oh wait, is Joker 2 rated R? They might already have it. Who knows? They might already have it. But if it's not Joker, they're gonna try it. They're gonna try to do what Marvel just did. Two button ups. Peacemaker. Oh yeah, that's a show, right? Yeah. Well, they're doing shows now. Yeah, the DCU. Um, I don't know actually. After Flash, I don't know. Okay, it is rated R. Okay, got you. After Flash, I don't know what the DCU is doing now, but they got the Batman. They can always just take that and infuse that somehow with some kind of expanded universe uh shenanigans, right? They have the Batman and they have Joker 2, and they're technically two different things, right? After the Flash, yeah, all this stuff for it seems like they canceled all the plans they had for Flash. They were going to make Michael Keaton's Batman like Samuel Jackson's Nick Fury, and he was just going to have he was going to be like the bridging point between all these different titles. And they cut that out of the end of the Flash, and they put a different character at the end. I'm not going to spoil it if you're looking forward to seeing that. And they have and then they canceled the Batgirl TV show altogether. Michael Keaton was going to be in that. Maybe he is in it. I don't know. They'll never release it. I don't think it exists, to be honest. I think they just said it and then they just uh they canceled everything with Ben Affleck besides the Flash. That's the last thing he'll be in probably. Um I don't know. I actually don't know what's going to happen with the DCU. Time will tell, I guess. Everything with the Justice League, Wonder Woman. It seems like all that's going to might be stopping at Flash. They literally had to destroy the proofs for Batgirl in order to get the tax credit for the write-off. Yeah, yeah. It was yeah. Whatever the heck they're running behind the scenes, that movie pretty much covered it up. Whatever it was, I don't know what it was. Money laundering scheme. I don't know. I'm not in the industry, but that's definitely a peculiar incident if I've ever heard. A fully made movie that no one's ever going to see. I'm sure someone. I'm sure it's been done before, but to this extent, this movie this big, or at least with some, a lot of people knowing about it, it's supposed to come out. Not to this scale. I guess I can say that. Hoax is unimpressed with the grass on stone after asking it for 5 years. He gets nothing but coal from now on. If I ever make the mod, that would be one of the first blocks I take a look at. Grassy stone. Why don't you just use moss? Isn't that's in vanilla? Is that not good enough? A moss block? We have mossy cobblestone. Uh, we just want green cobblestone. I'm pretty sure that exists somewhere. You just take some cobbled jade. Don't we have that? Cobbled jade. Bang! You got your grassy stone right there. Posted some pics in Discord. We have grass on stone and four. Okay, I'll take a look at them after this. I My phone is turned down for the time being, but I will look at it. Okay, so somewhere around here we're going to have to adjust that, but we can at least do this. That shouldn't really cause an issue. This isn't really going to move. The brow is all the way over here. I can raise that when I rig it. I don't think it'll affect this over here at all, so maybe we can just put this here and be done with it. It's either that or put another line right here and then push that line back some. We could try it. Why not? We could try it. We could try it. Well, now we have an extra line here. So maybe we can't try it. All right, so I think I'll just do this instead. I don't like it that the line's just in there, but I mean, I don't really have a choice in the matter, and it shouldn't really be too bad. I don't think that'll affect anything. When I see people do retopology, they don't have things like this in it. So it kind of leads me to believe that I'm doing something wrong, but what if I do this? What if I just make it like a circle, like circular movements here and here? If I add another vertex, I might be able to arrange that, or at least make the lines go all the way here. How about we can do that? How about we do that? Can we do that? No, we can't. Can't do it. I don't know why. And the solution I found to that doesn't always work, so I'm just not going to try it. Basically, we just make this piece a separate thing, and then you can loop and cut it as much as you want, and then just recombine it that way. But for some reason, that doesn't always work, so I'm not going to bother. Oh wait, can I just add? Can I add a vertex like I normally add a? Well, you can extrude it. Sure. I think I've tried that before. I don't think that works. All right, screw it. We're gonna leave it like this. It just that feels off to me. That feels off, but I know that's not gonna affect anything because this part of that skin does will not move ever. It'll just be this part, and I can always paint the weights around it if it causes a deformity. So there's gotta be a better way. Hmm. 'Cause even if I were to make this straight, then I would have to bring these lines all the way across his forehead, and we've already seen how that looks. It's just gonna look bad. It's just that one little part. You can see, like it stands out to me too. Like moving around, like see, okay, everything looks somewhat even, and then there's this big block right here. I'll meditate on that. If the answer comes to me, I will fix it. Grass on stone. Yeah, I can't outside of the rock hounding blocks, and we already know the story about that. Yeah, I don't really have any block requests. I usually just try to use what's there. But if we don't have it by the time I get around to making a mod, I'm definitely gonna just look at I'm gonna look at the blocks that they have, and then I'm gonna look at the real world minerals that they're copying, that they are representing, and then I'm going to make my own version of those same blocks. So I don't want to copy and paste their work, but I'm gonna make my own version of like Ammonite or Tiger's Eye and all those blocks that we had but don't have anymore. Those are pretty cool blocks. And then somehow, if we could combine, because rock hounding had their own little chisel, but you can only really make what was it, railings, pillars, and things like that. But if we could use that and make like a version of chisels and bits for all those types of blocks, I'm gonna look into that too. I don't know what I'm gonna call it. Maybe I'll call it I don't know, something to do with Blender, block Blender. Not really, no. That's dumb, but I think that would be two things that we could use that I could think of off the top of my head. That would make sense for Builder's Delight. It is a delight for builders having more blocks and the ability to chisel those blocks. But I don't know, like if you made your own block, I don't know if like you would have to make the compatibility with something that exist like chisels and bits. Like if we had chisel bit, say like we had a version of chisels and bits in a pack, and I just added a block, it wouldn't automatically make those blocks chisels and bits able. Would it? I don't think so. I think you'd have to make that yourself, wouldn't you? I'm sure there's a way you could add the compatibility to a mod like that. I just don't know anything about that. Because if it's as simple as oh, just make this a block, a bit, a block, or a pillar or whatever, just make this type of block follow this template, then yeah, I'm pretty sure I could do it, but um, I don't think it happens automatically. Okay, so I have to make an edge loop around the neck, but we're not there yet, so I'll just continue with the head. Maybe we can bring the jaw back some. I'm going to do some straightening of the face a bit. Looking at the face. Yeah, besides that temple. Yeah, we're gonna fix that. I don't know how to fix it. Is this guy wearing a mask, or is that just part of the sculpting? We're making a low poly version of this high poly mesh, and then we're going to bake the details, which is basically just copying the surface details onto this part. So it'll be a much lower polygon count, but with the same details. That's what we're doing. But we have to basically just build it face by face all around his body. But to answer your question, yeah, this is basically a mask over his entire body that we're creating right now. It's a bunch of planes that are shrink wrapped to the body. Yeah, that's how you do it. So it follows the form. Because if we just made a square, it would just be a square. It wouldn't these are actually sticking to the body here and forming around it. So it sort of looks like the guy that we have here. Sort of looks like him because it's basically shrink wrap. These are the it's a mirror, so I only have to do this side. It'll mirror on the other side. That's what this modifier is for. And shrink wrap combined with snap, it fully forms to the that body there. This is all that stuff there. That's why I selected blue. There's the modifiers there. There's plenty of modifiers you can add to uh do whatever you could think of. So they have a lot of modifiers for a lot of stuff. Very interesting things. I don't know if ZBrush has that type of thing, but this is new to me since using Blender. I've used mirror before, but only for the eyeballs. Like I mirrored the eyeballs, and that was it. That's all I did. Hmm, get some of this neck up under there. Think we can do it. How about yeah? Let's just do that. I think we're gonna have another instance where we create too many rows here, so maybe we shouldn't do it this way, but do it this way instead. I might be able to count how many of these I can connect together easier if I do it vertically instead of horizontally. So we have oh shoot, we have one there. That wasn't it. That was not the solution. Let's say one here, two, okay, one, two. So it's already off. It's already staggered a little too much there. So we should make this first area. We'll try to line up with this line here, this edge, as close as possible. And and then 2, like so, 3, so on and so forth. It might be easier to do it that way so we don't end up with extra rows like this here. We're trying to do better this time, not worse. Let's see, going to try to do that. And then let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, of course. And then 5. Now, if I move his head up or down, these will definitely be moved, right? These will have weights on them. So we're gonna have some pretty big polygons if we keep doing it like this. Maybe I can make them a little bit wider. How about this? And they're not too big. We keep these small because they're very close together. Maybe even that one too. Just make these slightly larger. Yeah, okay. So now we have that. It's got a little mask of Loki on. You know, I've seen a little snippets here and there of the Mask comic book. That is nothing like the movie in like as far as the tone. Like he is basically the like worse than the Joker. Like he just straight up kills people. I wonder how people who are like actually fans of the Mask comic book how they feel about the movie because yeah, that was I've seen some of the stuff he does in the comics. I'm like, Jim Carrey would not like this because he's a little averse to violence. He doesn't really. I guess he doesn't like that. I don't know how long he's felt that way, but ever since uh Kick Ass 2, there was something that happened. It was like I don't know if it was one of the mass killing incidents that happened during those times that he kind of renounced violent roles in movies as a result. But yeah, Mask is pretty crazy. Oh, Riddler. Yeah, there was for a while that was like his darkest role, the Riddler. I know he wanted to be the Joker at some point. Not that kind. I think it was more, the more violent stuff, that happens in Kick Ass. I think he had a problem with that. I don't think it was in so much as the cartoony stuff that you would see in Batman Forever. That wasn't too. That was nowhere near the level of violence that Kick Ass has. But I don't know. It's kind of a weird. It's not a clear stance on how much like what kind of violence he was talking about, but definitely the type that was in Kick Ass. It's a Mark Millar story, so that's what you get. It's kind of what you sign up for. Kind of like Garth Ennis and The Boys. You've seen The Boys. The comic is way worse than that. I'll tell you that right now. Some people actually don't like the comic. They like the they like actually a lot of people have said that. People like the show more than the comic. it's probably I would say it's gratuitous in a lot of ways. It's an understatement. Okay, it's an understatement. Okay, I think we can start putting these together. The face from the back. Oh, this the face from the back end. Are you talking about this? Oh, yeah. Something you see in a video game. You know, if you put the camera too close, like if the camera has collision and you're up against the wall and you see like the inside of the guy's head or the girl, whatever you, whoever you're controlling. Yep, this is how it is. You know, these meshes are. I followed some learning material that that teaches you how to use game ready meshes, so it works pretty much the same way. You know, like I said, I've tested my one of my meshes in Unity and it works. So I'm going to assume that they are game ready. But in that particular mesh, I did the rigging manually. I don't really do the rigging like that anymore. So I have not tested my new method of rigging, but it should be fine. Okay, we can put these together. Let's put them together. Make sure everything is just that selected. We've already made that mistake before. I'm seeing a little clipping here. That's why it made me think this is not connecting somewhere or connecting somewhere we shouldn't be connecting. I'm gonna keep an eye out for that. Here it is again. Oh, looks like we made a mistake right there. See that? I didn't even see that. I think that just comes from me just holding shift down all the time. I hold shift down so much when I do Blender that I just sometimes I forget to let it go, and that's why those mistakes are made. But it's an easy fix. You just undo it. It's done. And if we don't undo it, because there have been times where I've gotten pretty far and I noticed that this is connected to this over here, I can just delete that face. It's not a big deal. You don't want, like, if you have your mesh in a game and somebody manages to get the camera inside of it, you do not want that to be seen. That's going to reflect poorly on the quality of your game. You leave stuff like that in the final game. I'm sure people post videos and screenshots on Reddit, YouTube of all the mistakes you've made. Because that's a thing that happens. Or on Twitter. I need an edge loop around his neck. I didn't put that there beforehand, so we have ourselves some explaining to do. I think we could just do this. We'll just create another row. Hopefully it'll be fine. I don't see how this could be this would go against anything that we do in the future, but oh, because first of all, we're just making things willy-nilly. Let's try lining it up with the rows that we have already established. Because the last time I did that, that's how you get jacked up red topology doing things like that. So let's not do that. Oh, excuse me. I swear I only sneeze when it's stream time. Thank you. As soon as I started the stream, I sneezed. Any other time I don't sneeze, I'm good. Anytime I'm in my room and I'm not streaming, I don't sneeze that very much. But if I'm on a chat or I'm streaming, that's when the sneezing comes. Okay. And I just see my mic just go red every time. My mic just goes red every time it happens. I think before I complete this edge loop, I'm going to try to line this stuff up. Normally, you'd have the edge loops complete before you get started on filling in everything in between, but I'm just doing them along the way this time. I don't think it would matter. It's just, I guess it's just organization. If I had to take a guess as to why you do edge loops before you start filling in the areas. But we're just doing the head. We're not going any further than that today. So it shouldn't really matter. But you never know. Maybe it does matter. I don't know. I'm not going to find out until later in the project. Exactly my the results of my actions earlier in the project with what's going to happen if I do things a certain way. Let's see, we have okay. We could just do this. We're already getting really. Oh, you know what? Maybe I should not do it that way. This one's okay. I'm gonna delete the face. I'm gonna start from up here because these are smaller, and that will help me figure out what I need to do once I get down to where the base of the neck is. Whoa. It didn't even show me select that. It just did it. It did exactly what I wanted without actually showing me that I selected it. I guess there was a little lag spike there, probably from an autosave, but I'm pretty sure that won't. I'm pretty sure everything was done correctly there. That's basically okay. Maybe we can manipulate that a little bit. Hey, welcome back, Judicious. I don't know how much you caught about what I said about the blocks. I said that um, if I ever get around to making a mod anytime in the future, the first thing I'm going to look at is everything that we missed in rock hounding, and I'm going to look at the minerals that those blocks were supposed to be, and then just do my own version of rock hounding, but for builder's delight, and then try to make that somehow either compatible with a version of chisels and bits, or just make a companion mod, or just make the whatever mod has these blocks be able to be chisels and bitsable. And I was wondering if you just had a block with chisels and bits automatically make that block compatible, or do you have to create that compatibility? That's basically all I said about that. After you mentioned the grass stone. I would like for it to be that. I don't know how to combine these two. Can I mesh them? Chisels and Bits does it. I think it just needs to be made correctly. Oh, okay. Well, that's good to know. If we end up having, if Chisels and Bits stays in the pack, then I can just focus on the blocks. But if not, then I'll just make I can merge them. Center. Oh yeah, that's the first time I've ever done that. Only problem is if I do it that way, we're gonna have a triangle, but that's okay. I was told in my learning material to avoid making triangles, but I think they mean these types of triangles, and I'm not sure what they mean in this context because even if I create a square, it creates a triangle. One day I'll figure that out. But it's more about quads when you're making these types of meshes. That much I do know. And I do have a quad remesher here, but that doesn't seem to get rid of triangles. It seems to still create triangles. So I don't know. Just gonna put these together. Just gonna have to have a triangle there. I think that just they have a higher chance to deform when you're moving when you're like moving the mesh around. But if there is a deformity, I can easily just go into edit mode and fix it or paint or weight paint it. And basically weight paint weights are you like if I make this ear red because it's done by color, like think of like thermals and like I don't know, Metal Gear Solid or something that not the infrared but the actual thermals. Weight painting is basically the same way. Like it's the more intense the color is, the more it will be affected by, like if I take this ear and stretch it and it's red, the ear will definitely stretch. But it say like if the side of his face is yellow and green and so on, then some of that will stretch too. And I suppose that triangles have a higher chance of like deforming if they're stretched too much. I think that's the reason why you don't really want a lot of triangles in your meshes. I don't know for sure, but that's just my best guess as a Padawan learner of sculpting. I don't know if that's true. That's just a theory. What if I? Okay, never mind. Just wanted to see if that will work. If I could just grab it and just manipulate it into a. Well, yeah, I guess I could add a vertex and then just make it a square. But man, you know what? Why not I do that? Can I do that? Resolve, delete, subdivide. Can I subdivide it? Nope. Don't do that. Don't subdivide it. We have 1,000 triangles just in his face, and we're not even done with his head. It's just I don't know. I don't know if that's good or bad. I truly don't know. Like I said, I've yet to rig something that I've done manually, so I don't know what to expect. But as soon as I do it and I see if there's any problems, I'll be able to fix them then, because we'll use that as a learning moment for the next mesh that we do. I guess just gonna have to do a big area like a patchwork area here. Just gonna have to do it, which means another triangle, which it just the thing it just compounds. Things just compound sometimes. What are you gonna do? I can only put a loop cut and slide there. But you know what? I might actually be able to do something here. And now I can select face, get rid of this, and then just make two rows. So it's a little more even. Oops. You don't want to be in the vertex mode. We want to be in edges. And just do that. Now, what if oh, I wanted to see if I could divide that triangle, but it doesn't look like I can. As a matter of fact, do we even need to make a triangle anymore? Yeah, yeah, I guess so. Leave that there. Even if it were to cause a deformity, if it's covered by an article of clothing, because I'm gonna have to make a suit. I'm gonna have to make a suit for this guy. He has a suit too. In this scene, he's gonna be dressed like a soldier, but he normally wears suits. So I'm gonna have to return to this at some point and make a different set of clothes for him. Um, if there is a deformity there, I won't worry about it because I could just cover that with a collar or something. You know what? Let me delete that and then just what the okay, I'll wait. I gotta go this way. I can loop cut and slide here just so we won't keep making these weird things here that we have in our retopology. We're doing well, that's not so bad, I guess. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I don't know if what's good or bad because we're still kind of new at this, but it's okay. We'll figure it out. I can make another row at least. Oops, we don't want to do that, do we? See, now we got this to worry about here. Hmm. It's gonna be some weird rolls that we're making. Actually, all right. So we will continue this tomorrow. Actually, I'm gonna head out. Let's see. Is there anyone out there that I can raid? I'm gonna try to keep doing that if I can. Mm, maybe not. Okay, we'll just end it. All right. Thanks a lot for stopping by today. Really appreciate you all. Appreciate anyone who's watching the VOD and on the YouTube archive. I will do some shadow hearts later on uh, in about 7 or 8 hours. So 7 or 8 o'clock, I'll be back. So if you want to see me fumble about in that game, you can. Eastern time, of course. Um, and we will continue this tomorrow morning. Okay. So I'll see you then. Take care. Have a great rest of your day.